In today's video, we talk about the water levels at Lake Powell and Glen Canyon Dam, explore a little bit of the lake, and we're going to talk about what we can expect in the near future. For those of you that may not be familiar with the dam, let me get you caught up to speed. Glen Canyon Dam is located 4 hours north of Phoenix, Arizona, just minutes from the southern Utah border. Construction on the dam started in 1956 and was later completed in 1963, and of course it creates the reservoir that we all know today as Lake Powell. The dam has a height of 710 feet and a length of 1,560 feet, and when you compare it to Hoover Dam, it's actually 16 feet shorter, but 316 feet longer at the crest. Once Glen Canyon Dam was completed, it took 17 years to fill the reservoir, reaching full pool in 1980, which was also the same year that Magnum PI aired. I know that's a little irrelevant, but we can't ignore that mustache. And sadly, Lake Powell hasn't seen a full pool since then. According to waterfoundation.org, Lake Powell can hold up to 26 million acre-feet of water, while Lake Mead can hold up to 28,945,000 acre-feet of water. And here's a quick graphic to help illustrate what I'm going to explain next. As you can see here, when Lake Powell is at full pool, the water level would be at 3,700 feet MSL. And as of this video being made on May 25th, 2023, the water level is sitting at 3,553 feet MSL, which is up about 23 feet from 1 year ago. And as you can see here on powell.uslakes.info, ever since April 27th, the water level has been increasing by about 1 foot per day. And according to usatoday.com, with the rapid snowmelt continuing to make its way into Lake Powell, we could see the water levels rise by an additional 50 feet by June. And another article I found online from the Washington Post, it stated that the water level could rise by 71 feet by the fall, which is pretty astonishing. Now, while things as of recently seem to be trending in the right direction, let's not forget, like Lake Mead, it took years to fill Lake Powell, and one season of above-average snowpack is not going to solve the issue. And in that same article, one expert stated it would take nearly a decade of wet years to refill Lake Powell. Now, we're going to drive out to a very iconic landmark at Lake Powell, and I'm going to show you guys some before and after photos, and then we're going to explore the lake a little bit. This looks pretty sandy over here, but I think we're going to be able to make it through. And if we can't, we're just going to keep going until we have to hike the rest of the way. Fuck it. As ambitious as I was to get out and start exploring, Mother Nature tried to deter my plans. But after a few minutes of eating dust, the wind died down and I was able to continue my journey. Alright everybody, as you can clearly see, we made it out to Lone Rock. I don't know how much closer we're going to be able to get, but a quick fun fact for you, this rock actually stands at about a whopping 250 feet tall. And here's what the area looked like back in February of 2022. And here's what it looks like as of today. Quick shout out to Lake Powell real quick. I don't know what you guys are doing, I don't know what system you're using, but it is like easily 10 times cleaner here than it is at Lake Mead. Lake Mead, like you go down to the beaches and whatnot, the marina, there's just trash, beer bottles, and just crap everywhere. I think I've only seen one little shot of like Jose Cuervo or Fireball, I don't remember what it was, but that's the only piece of trash that I've seen out here in the half hour that I've been out here, so shout out to Lake Powell. And it's actually a pretty slow day out here. There are a few campers and a few hikers and a few people out on their boats today. And keep in mind, this is actually the Thursday before Memorial Day. This is sort of the calm before the storm. I imagine by tomorrow and Saturday, this place is just going to be filled with boats, people tanning, hanging out on the beach. After checking out Lake Powell, I decided to visit another unique feature along the Colorado River, and then this happened. As of right now, I am clearly f***ed. Clearly not one of the smartest decisions I had ever made, but to support my case, I drove through this coming out here. I just didn't have that same luck coming out. Now, I did do the obvious thing and call a tow truck, and they said it's going to be about a half hour, 45 minutes before they can get out to me, and it's going to cost about $115. Not too happy about it, but I really don't have a choice. I think I got about a solid 5 hours of daylight left before the sun goes down, so I need to make every second count. Just gotta wait for the tow truck. Alright, help has arrived. Just want to take a quick second and give a big shout out to Canyon Towing and Automotive LLC. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't have been able to get out of the sand and continue on with my day. So if you ever find yourself at Lake Powell and in an unfortunate situation like this, give them a call. After a few minutes of hooking me up and pulling me out, I was able to make my way to the next destination. If anyone watching this video ever makes their way out to Lake Powell, stopping in at Horseshoe Bend is a must. It's a beautiful landscape carved out by the Colorado River, and it's definitely a sight for sore eyes. It's located about 4 miles south of Glen Canyon Dam, and it's only about a 1.5 mile hike round trip. And if you're worried you won't be able to make this hike, just remember this. On my hike, I saw an old lady smoking a cigarette while making her way down to Horseshoe Bend, so if she can make it, I'm sure you can too. Cost is about $10 to get in for small vehicles and varies depending on what you're driving. But trust me when I say it's well worth it. Just don't be a dumbass and get too close to the edge, because if you fall, you probably aren't going to make it. Sometimes you just gotta let natural selection do its thing. Now, aside from Lake Powell and Glen Canyon Dam, northern Arizona has many stunning landscapes that are hard to miss when you're in the area. If you look out your car window, you're going to see a lot of towering red cliffs that extend for many miles. And just 8 miles southwest of Horseshoe Bend is Navajo Bridge. It was built in 1927 and first opened to traffic in 1929. It has a height of 467 feet and a length of 834 feet. Now there is 2 bridges here, and the one I'm standing on is the original Navajo Bridge, which is specifically for pedestrians, and the other bridge, which was completed in 1995, is for traffic. There is a little parking area here and gift shop as well, and let us not forget to mention those award-winning views of the Colorado River and those picturesque sights of the Vermilion Cliffs. If you ever get the chance to check out the area, take your time here and take in the views. I was lucky enough to even see a couple rafts coming down the river, and if you do lean over the edge to take photos, just make sure you're holding onto your hat, your camera, and your kids, because it's a long way down.